up folks, welcome back. So this week we're going to take a look at first aid kits. It's something that I've mentioned a couple of times in previous videos, and people have commented as well, just asking me to run through the kind of first aid kit and the first aid setup that I take out with me. So I'm going to run through some of the ones that are available off the shelf, and then I'll take you through the kit that I've put together and show you what's in there. Now obviously before I start, just to say, I'm not a medical professional, I'm not even a certified or qualified first aider. This is just stuff that I think is quite sensible to take out with me, and it's just my opinion. Make sure that you know what you're doing with your equipment and your kit, and make sure you brush up on your first aid skills yourself. So as I've said before, there's lots of kits out there available just off the shelf, but I wouldn't recommend just picking one up and throwing it in your bag and, you know, assuming that you're covered. Because that's the danger really, is that you just grab one, you don't look what's in it, you don't understand how to use everything that's in there, you put it in your bag, and it gives you kind of false confidence really. So I've always bought individual bits as well as these kits, but I've broken them down into their kind of component parts and decided on a piece by piece basis whether I think it's something that I need to carry around with me or not. So this is one from, I think, Go Outdoors. And from memory, I've had this a long time, it was about £5 I think. It's quite a bulky setup, and there's lots of things in here. So we've got a 1 metre dressing strip, there's some alcohol wipes, there's a plastic pack with some plasters in it, there's a couple of rolls of bandages, loads of stuff in here, a pair of scissors, some safety pins, and then a little leaflet as well showing you how to use everything. So again, make sure you read things like that and know what you're doing with your stuff. Things that you don't usually get in those kind of kits are things like these foil survival blankets. I would always recommend adding one of these to your kit, because remember, it's not just for you. You might come across somebody while you're out that needs your help, and if they're cold and they need to get warm quickly, you might need something like that on you. So these ones, I think I got those off eBay, and they're, you know, a couple of quid each. This one's a high gear one from, I think again from Go Outdoors, which was again 3 or 4 quid, and they do pack down really small, as you'll see. Then other things that you don't typically get, so blister plasters. Obviously if you're out hiking or walking, quite a common issue that hopefully we avoid, but if you do get a blister and you're out, you want something to treat it. This is another kit that I got from Home Bargains. This is more kind of a home kit, and it just had some plasters, a bandage, gauze dressing, some micropore tape and some latex gloves in it. That was £1.49. But again, these are quite handy just to grab sometimes to replenish your main kit. And then this one, this is a Masterplast one. This was from the Poundland, and it's got quite a lot of plasters in it, 8 large, 8 medium and 10 small, an instruction leaflet, some alcohol prep pads, an elastic bandage, some safety pins and tape, and a gauze dressing. So again, for £1, worth picking these up just for the parts, or for the pouch. And there's kits out there that are a lot more expensive than the stuff I've got here as well. So like I say, yeah, there's loads of options out there. Sometimes it's useful to buy a kit like this for the parts, or you can buy big boxes of plasters, big boxes of bandages, and keep your first aid kit stocked up that way. So this is my kit that I take with me, but before I jump into that and show you what's in there, just to say the first thing you need to consider really is what you put your kit in. So I've seen people just put them in see-through bags or a standard kind of dry bag, whether it's an, you know, green, orange, bright red, whatever colour it is. It's important that it is labelled, I think, because like I said, it's not only for you. If someone comes across you and you've somehow banged your head and lost consciousness, they might need to go into your rucksack, and the quicker they can find the first aid kit, the better. So it needs to be a really bright colour and labelled, so ideally red with the first aid symbol on it if it's not in words. This one's obviously a bright yellow, and says first aid kit quite clearly on the front of it. The other thing to think about is where this goes inside your pack. So as I said, if someone else needs to go into your bag to try and find something, it's no good having that buried at the bottom. So one of the reasons I use these yellow pouches is that you've got this belt loop on the back, and what I do is I've got a Osprey Kestrel backpack. In fact, let me get it. So at the top of my rucksack, and I think you get something similar on most rucksacks, is this compression strap that's designed to clip over the top of your gear and lets you cinch it down. So what I do is I use those belt buckles and I put that strap through there, and I can still use a compression strap to cinch things down, but what it means is if anyone needs to go in my bag, my first aid kit is the first thing that they'll see, and it's bright yellow and it says first aid kit on it. So like I say, just something to think about is what it's stored in and where it is in your bag. Okay, so as I said, my kit is in one of these bright yellow bags. The kit was £1, but I've put some extra things in here that I think are quite important. So the first thing I've done is I've clipped a couple of safety pins onto the zip so that they're not going to go anywhere, they're not clipped to the material that could rip, and I know exactly where to get them. And then I'll show you what I've got inside. So there's my emergency blanket. As I said, I would always carry one of them, whether it's for myself or to help someone else. And with all of this, obviously you're hoping that you're never going to need it, but if you find yourself in a situation where you do need something, you want to make sure that you've got it. Another thing I've added is a couple of these blister plasters, and they're these ones from Home Bargains. I think they were £1.49 and you get 3 large and 2 medium in there, and I've just grabbed a couple of the large ones and put them in there. I've then got 4 plasters. So as I said, with this kit you get like 28 plasters with it. I don't think you need that many. So there's 4 large ones there. There's a roll of elastic gauze and some tape. They came in the kit. I've added this in as well. This is burn cool gel. So we're all out there with gas stoves, with alcohol stoves, lighting fires or creating some sort of heat and cooking off it. If the worst should happen, I think it's worth just throwing one of those burn gels in to cool things down a bit. Got a pair of scissors. Now you might think you don't need this because you're going to have a knife or whatever, but again, if it's someone else going into this kit to try and fix a wound or whatever, it's handy just to throw these in. I think they've not got to find your knife separately or find their own knife. Everything's included, and they hardly weigh anything. I'm going to weigh the whole kit at the end. Got a couple of alcohol prep pads. Again, these came in that kit. Obviously before you dress any wounds or anything, you want to clean it out. I've got a gauze dressing, a non-adhesive pad for wrapping bandages around, and then I've added some water purification tablets. So again, very unlikely you're going to need this. Usually when I'm out I've got water with me, or I'll have my water filter, but if you spill your water and you lose your filter or your filter breaks, these weigh next to nothing, so they're worth just having in there. I think I would avoid using them if I can as well, because I know they're not great for your stomach, but as an emergency, and that's what this is all about, they're worth carrying along. Like I say, they weigh hardly anything. And then the final thing, which you don't get in your kind of off-the-shelf first aid kits, is some tick removers. So fortunately up to now I haven't had to use them on myself, but the dog's had ticks a couple of times, and again, for the size and weight of them, it's just worth including them in there, because if you do get a tick, you need to be able to remove it quickly and safely. So that's everything I've got in my kit. I'm going to pack it all up and weigh it, but let me know in the comments what things I'm missing or what you take with you. Like I say, I'm not an expert, this is just stuff that I've put together myself, so help me out, help the viewers out, comment below and let me know. what we should be taking, or if this is excessive and too much. So one final thing that's definitely worth doing, whether it's in your first aid kit or somewhere prominent on your rucksack or on yourself, is make sure you have a piece of paper or a card with you with your full name, your date of birth, any allergies, contact details for your next of kin, and your home address ideally, so that if the worst should happen, people can get in touch with your friends and family and they know where you've come from. Right, so let's see what this weighs. So in total, that's 86 grams. So for what it is, definitely worth taking, definitely worth throwing in your bag. For 86 grams as well, it's, you know, if there's extra things I need, and you guys I'm sure will let me know in the comments, we've got plenty of space and weight to add them in. So I hope you found that useful. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. Stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!